I'm Gerald Sands. I'm a criminal defense lawyer. Started in 1970 with the district attorney's office. Spent 4.5 years there. Went out with a partner into private practice, and I've been in private practice of criminal defense ever since. I'm a registered drug and alcohol counselor from UCLA. I'm registered on the internet as a certified expert in drugs and alcohol, and recovery in the criminal defense is my main bag, so to speak. Whenever I get somebody like Steve-O, I try to get him into recovery so we can get rid of the felony charges and the misdemeanor charges that they might be involved with. I must say that I've been pretty successful in that regard. As a matter of fact, with Steve-O, his misdemeanor was dismissed immediately when I got into the court, and that allowed him to get into a drug diversion program that he's in now. When he completes the program, the judge even continued his case a long time because he knew how good he was doing. We brought progress letters all the time, and he indicated, I think in February, this case will be completely dismissed. Steve-O has done such a great job in recovery, and the only thing I did was head him in the direction. That's all I was able to do. But God takes over from that point, and I think Steve-O has been just a tremendous example of what recovery can do. And my opinion, Steve-O will be better at what he was doing before when he does it again, or whatever he does, because he's going to be a tremendous example of what sobriety really means if you have that kind of a problem. I kind of have a feeling that Steve-O had a little bit of that problem, right, Steve?
I think the only way that you can wind up being arrested in the doorway of your own home is if you're pretty genuinely out of control. I had cops sent to my house because I was vandalizing the wall, jamming stuff through the wall into the neighbor's apartment. I was just out of control. I was on a downward spiral. There were a lot of rock bottoms, you know. I mean, I felt like, take your pick. And this one just happened to land me in jail. So I was taken to jail barefoot, no shirt on, with a bag of cocaine in my pocket.
That's not the best thing in the world to do, is it?
No, and I mean, it was a vandalism charge that got me arrested. I walk into the police station, the jail, with no shirt, no shoes, and then they find this cocaine in my pocket. And so they, I guess, re-arrested me in the jail, put new charges. My bail shot up. It turned into more of a situation than the misdemeanor that I was arrested for. So we get to my house to sign my retainer for Barry and stuff, and make it official that I'm his client, but I'm just too busy opening beers and running around my apartment talking about the fourth dimension, and I was really, my brain was fried. I proceeded to do more drugs, and it was only a matter of a few hours that I had been out of jail that was between me and this scene where I'm jumping up and down on the roof of a parked car, out of my mind, pockets full of drugs, and these security officers came racing in. Had they been police officers rather than security officers, I would have been rearrested for new felonies, having just been released from jail for the previous felonies. And that would have been, I was insane. I honestly had no concept in my mind that I was going to do anything to get better. I like to say that you've got a problem that probably needs some attention when old Johnny Knoxville leads your intervention.
and he was there with me, that's for sure.
So I had 8 guys with Johnny Knoxville leading the way into my apartment, and they said, you're going into the psych ward for an evaluation. And I said, I'm not going. It was an intervention. And they basically said, there's 8 of us and 1 of you, and you're going. So I was, essentially forced. I was literally forced forced into the psych ward on a 5150, which is when you're taken in because you're a threat to yourself or other people.
Drew Pinsky, Dr. Drew is a good friend of mine, and I represent all the people that get in trouble that Dr. Drew comes in contact with. So I think Dr. Drew called your dad and told your dad to call me. And your dad called me and said, well, you might know my son. His name is Steve-O. And I said, who? Because I'm an old man. I don't know Steve-O from the Man on the Moon. So your dad proceeded to tell me what the story was. And at that point, I contacted Dan, my bail bondsman, and said, Dan, let's get Steve-O out immediately. And we proceeded at that point to Hollywood Wilcox LAPD, and we got Steve-O out.
I knew I needed help, but I thought that I was a lost cause. I didn't think it would do anything. I was helpless. And I remember sitting in the psych ward and thinking, well, if I gave getting better a shot, if I tried to get sober, then it's possible that I could help a lot of people. I, Stephen Gilchrist Glover, do hereby grant Hollywood Weekly the rights to exploit my image on this tape in all media now known or hereafter devised in perpetuity throughout the universe.
You're watching Hollywood Weekly TV.